As a business owner, it's hard to keep track of all of your metrics. For right now, I'm specifically talking about social media. We're working on a number of different platforms, and I don't really need to know the nitty-gritty of every single thing, but I want to see things on a high level. How many subscribers I have, how many views, how many email newsletter subscribers I have, things like that. Pretty basic. So today on One Thing Simpler, I'm going to show you a simple app that you can build in order to give you this data. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tara. I've been helping companies optimize and create more efficient workflows for the last 4 years. If you need help leveraging AI within your business or figuring out how to build workflows to make things more efficient, then get in touch. My contact information is in the description below. As you can see, I've built this app in a tool called Blocks. If you're not familiar with Blocks, it's an AI-powered tool that allows you to build and customize your own apps. I'm not a developer, and I highly recommend using this tool because as someone who doesn't know no code, it's super easy to build out whatever I want. I simply need to ask Ella, their AI builder, to help me build out my app. So let's jump in to something that I call the dash. This app, or the dash, simply gives me the metrics that I want for my social media. As you can see here, I've only connected it to YouTube and Mailchimp, and I've asked it to pull in the relevant data of what I want to see. So here you can see how many YouTube subscribers I have and how many YouTube views I have. If I want to add in metrics, I simply need to ask Ella. So let's look at how this is built. If you click on the top left-hand corner, you see Ella's avatar, and you simply need to ask her to build something for you. You need to tell her what you want. Now, in this specific example, I'm connected to YouTube and Mailchimp because that's where I wanted to pull my data from. So I did need to integrate the two different tools. In order to do that, you can go to integrations and you can choose the tool that you want. You do need to go through a process where you approve the integration, and that allows Blocks to connect to that specific tool. So if I wanted to connect with LinkedIn, I can simply do that. I simply click on this button and it's going to automatically allow me to connect to LinkedIn. So here you can see that I have LinkedIn, and I can say, pull in stats from LinkedIn. And all I need to do is tell Ella to do it. Let's see what happens. You can see here that LinkedIn, my personal profile, and my company was both automatically added in. Now, obviously, there's some errors here because it's showing that I have 0 connections and it's saying that I don't have permissions to connect to my LinkedIn company. So obviously, this is something that I would need to troubleshoot and figure out what's not connecting. But most of the time, it's simply asking Ella what the error is, or I can actually take a screenshot to show her that, hey, this is showing 0 connections, but I actually have connections within LinkedIn. Can you see why it's not working? And then she'll fix it. One of the coolest things that I want to show you about how you can edit your app is the option to mention something on your app. So if I click on this mention button and then select on page, so I can choose something specific. So let's say I choose this H1, and here you can see that it showed up in the bottom left corner because I'm mentioning it. So I'm saying, Ella, look right here. And I can say, change this text to say the dash instead of dashboard. And I simply need to tell her to make these changes. Now, if you are a developer, and like I said, I'm not, you also have the option to go into the logic or into the activity log to understand exactly where the error is. And it'll show you the different errors, and you can understand, okay, this is where this LinkedIn error is. This is how I need to fix it. You can see here that Ella automatically changed my heading to be called the dash. Again, this was a simple example of a dashboard that I set up and that I needed her to change, but the concept is still there. I have an app and I want something to be changed. I simply need to ask Ella. I don't need to wait for months or wait for a developer to go in and make the changes to the app. And if you're running a business, this is how you do one thing simpler. You think about the metrics that you need and you simply build an easy app to track those metrics. So you can check them out every day to make sure that your company is holding where it should with these specific metrics. I'll see you in the next video.